Good morning, class. Today's goal is to focus specifically on information that comes from social media, evaluate the role that social media plays when gathering information, as well as the reliability of how much we should trust sources that come from social media. Plan for today. First, just a reminder to keep checking PowerSchool and Google Classroom. I have not, as of 9:40 p.m. Monday night, not graded your assessments about website reliability and web page comparisons yet, but I'm hoping to do that before today ends. So just a reminder to keep checking Google Classroom comments, keep checking PowerSchool. There's a handful of people who haven't done the Wikipedia sources yet, haven't finished the coronavirus anthology yet. I still need those things to get done. They are late. It's 5% per day. Please get those done if you're one of those people, and check PowerSchool to figure out. So next is we will go through social media assessments. First, what we are trying to deal with is how fake news, which is false information or propaganda published as if it were authentic news, so it's information that is wrong, it's inaccurate, it is false, but it's published and posted and spread as though it was real, accurate, trustworthy news. So it's not like gimmicky parody jokes, it's news that's fake, that's presented as though it is real. First thing I'd like you to do is just take a little bit of time to respond to these questions. It'll be a Google form that should not take you very long. First, has social media done more harm or good for citizens when it comes to gathering and sharing news? You are allowed to say it's done some of both, but I want you to tell me whether it's been more of a positive thing, been more good, or been more of a negative thing, and provide some explanation as to why. Second question, should online, specifically social media companies, and Google's not one, but Google's a huge search engine that pretty much everybody uses, so Facebook, Twitter, Google, should they be required, as in the government is enforcing, to monitor fake news and or hate speech on their platforms? Is that their responsibility or not? Should they be required to monitor it? And if you say they should, then should the government punish them if they don't? If they should get punished, how so? And if they shouldn't be required, give some explanation and reasoning as to why not. Third question out of 4. When it comes to posting information, speech online, digital speech, and First Amendment rights, free speech, protest, freedom of the press, etc., where do we draw the line where somebody no longer has the freedom to post what they want on the internet? We have these freedoms, they are not unlimited. Give me some sort of description as to where you personally think we should draw the line where the person has lost their freedom of speech or protest or whatever because of what they are posting online. And the last question to respond to, and all of these should have some explanation for it. I'm not looking for 1 or 2 sentences. With that being said, I don't necessarily need a full life story either, so maybe 4 sentences or so per response. What are the best ways, and ways is plural, give me multiple examples, to fight against the problem of fake news, and why is it important to do so? We talked about this a little bit already, so this should be pretty easy for you to answer. For this one, just describe it, so I only need 1, 2, no more than 3 sentences for that response. So that'll be on a Google form. Do that first, please. Shouldn't take you very long. That is due by 3 p.m. today. So we are focusing on social media. Here are the survey results. Survey says for what you guys said about social media, and we had quite the spectrum, all the way from 2 to 10, and only one of those 8 had 1 response. So we are all over the board in terms of, is social media a terrible place or a wonderful place to gather information? We slightly lean towards, well, it's pretty much in the middle. There's gives more variety from 5 to 10, but there's quite a few people responding 3 or 4. So again, here's the word cloud of where we get information, and we see social media popping up right away. We've got literally social media, we've got Twitter, we've got Snapchat, Instagram is right here. You know, Friends is like the old version of social media, right? It's literally getting your news from social gatherings and social interaction. What I would like you to do, I'm going to post, and hopefully these websites are unblocked. If they are not, please let me know. I'm going to post 3 different assessments for you. One is dealing with Facebook, and I am fully aware that most high schoolers today, 1, don't have a Facebook, and 2, if they do, it's not used as much as Snapchat, Instagram, etc. But you'll have a Facebook video assessment. There's another one that's a Twitter feed. It's a post on Twitter, a tweet. And then the third option is a YouTube video. So you only have to choose one of these 3. I personally do not care which one you choose, but know that if you do more than one, I will only count the one I happen to grade first. I have no idea what order I will go in, but you don't get extra points, and I won't choose the best out of the 3 or 2 if you choose to do more than one. So pick one, turn it in. The other ones you don't have to worry about. That is worth 5 points. That is due 3 p.m. today. But just so you know, that survey says, the Google form with those 4 questions, that is graded as a classwork grade as well. One other thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to make you do anything with this because I'm giving you a bit of work between now and Thursday that I want you to focus on, but this Pizzagate story, I'll post a link to it, talks about how fake news can pose real-life examples of danger. Unfortunately, this story didn't end up being dangerous, but there was a real chance it could have been. So I'll post a link to that, and if you guys want to check that out, it's interesting. I think it shows how important it is to make sure our information is accurate, whether it's talking about COVID-19 or about something as simple as pizza. Speaking of COVID-19, the last thing that you should start today, but it is not due until Thursday, 3 p.m. Once again, this is not due until Thursday, 3 p.m. And just so you know, there's a good chance I will not be posting videos tomorrow or Thursday because this research-based question paper is the only thing that you have yet to do. If I notice something that I want to change, I will post a video, but as of now, please don't expect one. Just expect between today and Thursday to be work on finishing this. Question: should Michigan schools, which includes WMC, shut down for the rest of the 2019-2020 school year? You can choose one of 4 options. You can strongly support, which means that yes, we should close down. You can mildly support, strongly oppose, which means no, we should reopen once it's ready, before the school year ends, of course, and then mildly oppose. That's what those claims mean. The format for this paper, this is expected to be 5, there should be 5 sources, 5 citations minimum. You created an anthology with 10, so choosing 5 out of the 10, plus I will be sharing every student's top source, so you'll have plenty to choose from, and you can do extra research on your own. Things have changed since you've done this over the weekend. Use footnote style citations, and all you have to do is copy and paste the link. Let me show you how this works. So this is the rubric and outline that I will post on Google Classroom. If you look at me typing at the bottom, if this is something that I wrote based on research, what I will do is after the last sentence where that research was referenced, so do it after the punctuation, whether it's a question mark, period, exclamation point, or whatever, you will go to Insert, footnote. And the shortcut for that is Control-Alt-F if you want to do it the quicker way. Once again, you do this after the punctuation. It will then put a little spot at the bottom, and then you just need to copy and paste the link to the website you used. I don't know if that's a real site or not, but I just made it up. Right? So if you used 4 straight sentences, all from the same source, don't put after each sentence the same source 4 times as a footnote. Put it after the last sentence. And if you use this, then you use other sources, and then you go back to this source later in your essay, you do have to cite it again. But realize I'm looking for 5 different sources. So if you use 4 sources, but one's used twice, that's not going to cut it. But please realize, get rid of that your thesis clearly states the claim, 3-4 sentences. The body has 3 paragraphs, so each paragraph is you explaining one of your 3 main reasons why you think the way you do. So if you say mildly support, you're giving 2 reasons why you support it and 1 why you don't. If you say strongly oppose, you're pretty much just giving 3 examples or reasons why you disagree. And you can put a little bit of nuance in there and talk a little bit about why maybe you do agree or do support it, but if it's strongly one way or the other, you should send a strong, clear message of why you think that way. So each paragraph, which represents its own key idea and reason, should be at least 5 sentences. Please note that you are expected to use multiple pieces of evidence and examples to support these reasons. Don't just give me reasons without backing it up with some form of research, examples, or evidence. Your conclusion just restates the thesis in 3 or 4 sentences. Probably don't need the parentheses there. So that's the format you need to take. Between the thesis body and conclusion, the total word count for this paper should be between 500 and 1,000 words. I want you to explain yourself well enough without being too wordy and not being concise. Being concise is a pretty valuable writing skill. Once again, at least 5 sources, reliable, diverse, relevant. Feel free to use more than 5. Having more than 5 is just going to make your paper even better. This video explains how to do that, the footnote style format with copying and pasting those sources. This is a quiz grade. It's 30 points. It's due once again Thursday, 5 p.m. And then here's the rubric. I don't care if you write this below the rubric, if you want to write your paper, or if you want to start your own Google Doc and write it that way. It's totally up to you. So you can start that today. It's not due until Thursday. If you have questions about it, please let me know. The only things that are due today is doing one of those social media assessments and then doing that Google form responding to the 4 questions. And don't forget to explain a little bit about why you think the way you do. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. You may not get another video from me this week, but please don't hesitate to ask me questions via email or Google Classroom if you're not quite sure how to do this paper. Adios.